attacked on its way, and apparently it's happened multiple times. So they are requesting aid. That's why we were there. We are currently on our way when we were attacked by some things. I don't believe in game we know what they are.
They seemed like hobgoblins.
So we would know in game what they are then.
Yeah, because there had been some discussion afterwards.
Well, it looks like we're still in battle, so.
Yeah. Alright. So, and Nalo, Nalo, now, were you the one who was in town, or were you with the caravan?
I am not with the caravan. I am in town.
Okay. So, Scurry, you were the one who was with the caravan, right?
Yes.
Alright. Excellent. So, yeah, just, basically, the group was moving along. The attack happened, and you all were fighting. The hobgoblins had been slain, and that's kind of where we left off. So right now, Shock is kind of going around making sure everyone's okay. And Scurry was there the whole time. So what do you look like, Scurry? What would they have seen you as?
Scurry Man just looks like a panther tabaxi. Black fur, obviously, some light armor that he's wearing, mostly leather, and then he's got a rapier at his side that he uses to stab. And other than that, just a generic rogue outfit. We're all level 1, so we're not exactly wealthy or well-traveled most of the time, so that's Scurry right there.
It's a Kit Kat.
Yes,
Kitty cat.
Large tabaxi. And what type of armor did you say you had?
Leather.
Leather and rapier?
Yep.
Okay. So, back to it. Alright, so it's about 3 a.m. Everyone's extremely tired. Shock is kind of moving around, cursing as he's pulling the bodies of his men onto one of the carriages. He looks to the group and he says, good job with holding them off, but I don't think it's safe to stay here. You may have been right. It may have been wise to push through the night. So I think that's what we should do. But before we do that, I think we should check the surrounding area and make sure we're not being followed. Are any of you good at stealth?
Yes.
So Scurry kind of steps forward.
I can be.
He looks to you as well, and he says, what about tracking? Do any of you know how to track?
No. Not really.
Well, for now, see if you can find a trail around here and scout the surrounding area. Make sure they don't have people watching us. I'm going to continue to collect our dead, and then once we have everything ready, we're going to move on. Those of you who are staying behind, see if you can find anything of value on the bodies. And he would then walk over to start talking to the surviving soldiers. So Scurry, you said you were gonna go scout?
Sure.
All right. What about Zerx or Zaquine? Anyone else going with him, or are you two staying here and helping Shock?
I can go with him.
All right. So Zaquine volunteers to go with Scurry, and what did you say you were doing, Zerx?
I'll stay behind and help him.
Okay. So you're helping kind of collect the bodies and get everything in order. Zerx, could you set yourself to chat as your character? And Bo, I think I need you to chat as your character too, because your picture's not coming up.
I'm trying to figure out how to set that up. I'm kind of running slow today, mentally.
No worries. It's under the chat tab in the... so I think it's the most left tab on the top right of your screen, where it has like all the roles and everything. At the very bottom, there's like a drop down, and you can set your, basically to speak as any character you can control, or your account, and right now it says your account. which is just like a blank sheet.
Under text options, you said?
Yeah, at the very bottom, there's like a drop down.
Can you show me on Discord? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, can I share my screen? Yeah, I think I could share my screen. Hang on. I don't think I've ever shared my screen on Discord. Let me see how this works. Which one can I share?
I got it. I figured it out. Sorry.
Oh, you got it? Alright.
Yeah.
Where is that image from?
Which image?
Berserks?
Oh, I think he just asked me to get one at random, so I just picked one.
Yeah.
It looks like a figure out of one of the D&D games.
It might very well be. I don't remember where I got it. I have a bunch of random images. Alright. So, Scurry, I'll do Scurry and Zerks first. Or sorry, Scurry and Zach. So you two are sort of looking around the area for any type of tracks. So perception would help here, if you two want to roll perception. Alright, 12. And 19. Oh. Alright, so yeah, there's lots of tracks everywhere, making it kind of hard to tell what's what. But Scurry, you do manage to find some of the incoming hobgoblin tracks, and you can possibly use those signs of passage to track where they came from. I assume you're going to point them out to Zaquine?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of, as she's looking around, you kind of call her over and point it out. So at this point, to follow the signs of passage, you would need to do a survival check. Either of you. Well, actually, both of you, and I'll take the higher one. Okay, well, so Scurry...
Zaquine will come over, and she'll be like, "Good job, did you sniff them out?"
You answer her, Scurry?
What was that, sorry?
Good job, did you sniff them out?
Well, I didn't quite find them, but I see the tracks. Don't know where they're leading, though.
Alright, so Zaquine, yeah, Scurry looks kind of confused as to how to follow these signs of passage, but Zaquine, you notice some kind of crushed pieces of grass and broken leaves, and you can determine where they came from. So I assume you are going to follow them, yes?
It sounds like a bad idea, let's do it.
Alright, so the two of you, with Zach's help, start following this trail back in the direction you came from. It's leading into a kind of forested area, so it's a little bit harder to see, especially this late at night. You have moonlight, but it still makes it a little bit more difficult. Or wait, you actually both have dark vision, huh?
Yep.
Alright, so it's not as good as having light, but due to the fact that your eyes are trained for this, you can kind of make things out better than normal people. So as you're following signs of broken twigs and stepped on grass through the kind of the foresty area, you hear something coming from up ahead. It sounds like someone frantically moving about. What do you want to do? It's still a little ways off, so you don't see it yet. It's somewhere past the trees.
How quiet can you be?
Relatively.
Well, you say we go ahead and sneak up, and if it seems dangerous, we slit its throat.
I've done worse.
All right. So if you're stealthing forward, then I need stealth checks from both of you. Oh, wow. All right, so you are extremely quiet as you move through the trees. You come to an area up ahead where you see, looks like a hobgoblin frantically trying to load stuff onto a cart. Next to him, there is a woman who looks like she's been badly beaten, tied up on the ground, just kind of sitting there. The hobgoblin so far has not noticed you. He seems to be cursing a bit under his breath as he's trying to get everything loaded into this cart. The cart has a donkey attached to it, and just, yeah, like sacks everywhere. What do you want to do?
How far is this hobgoblin away right now?
You would put him at about 65 feet away. The woman seems to be alive, but like I said, she's had better days. She's still conscious. She's just kind of sitting there, kind of next to a tree. Her hands are bound behind her back.
Well, I know I came here for murder. I don't know about Scurry.
Is there any way I can make out what kind of weapon he's holding?
He has a sword at his side that's currently sheathed next to a dagger, and he has a longbow on his back with a quiver.
Okay. Alright, seems like a range fight's not a good idea since he's also got a bow and he's got better cover. How about we try and get a little closer, make sure that we can strike them both at once without him being able to do anything, instead of just running at him.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so you're both going to try to sneak up and basically, like, stab him?
Yep.
Alright, give me another set of stealth checks to approach. You guys can't cover for each other with this one because you're in close, so I have to just take your lower roll. 13, and Zach is very quiet. Ooh, unfortunately, as you're walking up Scurry, you step on a little twig. He looks up, growls, and quickly grabs the woman, putting a dagger to her throat. He says, "Don't come any closer! I'll kill her!" What do you two want to do? He doesn't see Zach yet. You're still hidden in the brush nearby, but he's looking right at you, Scurry.
I'm sure we can figure something out here. Maybe just fight it out one-on-one instead of hiding behind the hostage.
The woman says, "Just kill him." She coughs up some blood. He growls and says, "Quiet, you. There'll be no fighting one-on-one. I'll slit her throat if you come any closer." He says, "Now I'm walking out of here with her and my carriage. You just better leave or she dies."
That's the most cowardly hobgoblin I've ever seen.
What are you doing while this is happening, Zach?
I'm gonna see if I can get on that carriage.
Like, sneak up on him still?
I want to get in the carriage. If he's gonna try to take the carriage away, then
Well, it's more of a cart. It's not actually a carriage. So there's no cover to it. It's just like a wooden cart with a bunch of sacks in it right now.
would I be able to get behind it to obscure, make sure he doesn't see me?
So you can kind of use the trees and brush to continue stealthing, but he's definitely more aware now. So he's kind of looking around. It's going to make it a little bit harder if you want to keep moving.
Yeah, let's see if I can get
All right.
get where I can attack without him being seen. Without me being seen. Words.
Go ahead and give me another stealth check. As you, and what are you saying, Scurry? So you call him cowardly, although he doesn't really seem too fazed by that. He seems very. What's your insight? Your passive insight.
What was that? Sorry, my fiance just left the room. Sorry if you heard any of that.
What's your passive insight?
My passive insight. Passive insight? Why isn't it show on my sheet on Roll20?
It's basically 10 plus your insight score.
Okay, that's 10.
Alright, so yeah, he doesn't seem too affected by your taunts. He just holds the blade even tighter to her throat, to the point where you could see, like, some blood coming out. And he says, "I'm not gonna tell you again. Get out of here." What do you want to do?
Well, I'd prefer if, the woman didn't die, but then again, I have no affiliation to her, so I guess that's just gonna have to happen.
Give me an intimidate check. Okay. So he luckily seems a bit intimidated and maybe even a little bit distracted by this. Zach, you are able to get into a position that's somewhat close to him. You don't think you could hide all the way up and stab him? Like, he's probably going to see you approach at this point, but you do think you could surprise him if you jumped out and tried to attack him. What do you want to do? You there, Zach?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. And Scurry, are you actively approaching now, or are you still just kind of intimidating from a distance?
I'm just slowly walking closer.
Alright, so you see as you get closer... Yeah, as you get closer, he's definitely pressing the knife harder against her throat and growling.
Fair enough.
Alright. So, what do you want to do, Zach? The window might be closing if you want to try to save this lady. Especially with Scurry getting closer.
I'm probably just going to make it worse if I do anything, but...
Well, if you
I'll try to up the intimidation factor. I'll just go ahead and drop my hood and...
Well, he hasn't seen you yet. You're still hiding nearby.
Yeah.
You might be able to get the jump on him if you just jump out and attack, because you're basically like 10 feet away in the brush. Yeah, so do you want to just step out and reveal yourself, or you want to jump out and try to attack with a surprise?
I will, jump out and surprise him.
Alright, so as you're approaching, he's kind of growling, or as, Scurry is approaching, he's kind of growling and stabbing deeper into the woman's throat. When suddenly Zaquine leaps from the brush, go ahead and give me a, let's do initiatives really quick.
I'll give my own growl, too. I can do it as well.
So, go ahead and, we'll use this battle mat. Go ahead and highlight your tokens and roll for initiative. Most likely, this guy is definitely surprised because he did not know you were there.
I need to select a token. I rolled initiative, 20 on initiative. But...
So you have to make sure you have your token selected when you roll it, or else it won't associate it with your token.
Oh, that's worse, but it's a 15. It's a 14. There we go.
Okay. So I just need Zach. Your token should be at the very north of the battle mat here.
I'm trying. It's... Okay. There we go.
There we go. Alright, so... The Hobgoblin goes first, because he rolled really good initiative. But, unfortunately for him, he is completely surprised as he looks over at you, jumping out, and he does not get to act just yet. Zaquine, you would get to go next. So you do get sneak attack, if you can hit.
If I can hit, that's... Thank you for adding that if. That is very important right there.
Yeah.
Especially with my luck last.
I'll give you advantage, too, because you kind of came up from his side. Surprise. So go ahead and roll an attack with advantage. Oh, crits.
Nice.
All right. So you jump out, and he turns around just in time to get a dagger right through the eye. He twitches a bunch, falling over dead. At which point the lady just starts kicking his corpse. You fucking bastard! She yells as she pants, kicking him. Thank you. Thank you so much. And she would just hug you right away, Zaquine. What do you want to do?
How is she hugging me if her hands are tied?
Oh, right. She's tied up. Never mind. She maybe just leans up against you. What do you...
I will go ahead and work on untying her then.
Thank you so much. Alright, so you start untying her. What do you want to do, Scurry?
I would like to take a look at the cart and the stuff that's in it.
Alright, so you walk over, kind of examining the loot. It looks like something that may have been looted from maybe one of the previous caravans. There are lots of kind of basic items like ropes, rations, probably, maybe some simple armors and daggers and stuff like that. There's also a donkey attached to the cart, and the twitching hobgoblin who's just bleeding out on the ground.
Alright. Alright, I guess we're taking the cart back and selling this shit in town. Doesn't seem to be anything too useful in here, but might bring us a penny.
The woman continues to thank you as you untie her. She says, where are you all from? It seems, were you just wandering the woods, or?
Well, I'm from all over the place, but I'm guarding a caravan close by. We were attacked by hobgoblins and attacked them back here together with my friend there.
Oh, well, thank you. I owe you my life. My name is Melody, she says, and she would give you a... I guess you would have her untied now, so she would give you a hug as well. She says, I was actually traveling with one of the caravans a little while ago, and we were attacked by these hobgoblins. I was taken prisoner.
Do you know if they had anything valuable in that caravan?
I think, most of the things they had were taken by the main force several days ago, but they still had some of it left here because they couldn't carry it all, and she kind of motions to all the stuff that's around you. I think there were just basic supplies that were going to be sold in Chaur. I don't know if they had anything that valuable.
Fair enough. Regardless, you're welcome to take all this stuff with us back to Chaur. And maybe you can give a part of the pennies that we gained from this carriage just for your troubles and everything.
Oh, well, you're more than welcome to keep any of this stuff. I owe you my life. But yeah, maybe we can get the cart back. We should move quickly, though. They may have more soldiers in the area. She says...
Quickly, do you think we can load this stuff up? And I suggest rejoining with the other caravan.
Alright, so you think it'll probably take another 15 or 20 minutes to get everything onto the cart, so that won't be quick. But if you want, you can do that. It looks like there's already a bunch of stuff on the cart, though.
They say anything that looks remotely valuable, we'll put on there. Anything that looks like it's trash or practically worthless, stuff like, random rations of wheat and stuff, we can just leave here, and then we get moving.
Give me a perception check if you're taking a quick look. Let's see if you notice anything.
Nope.
You take a quick look through, but it looks like mostly junk. You could maybe fill your rations pack or take some arrows, but nothing that valuable. Alright, so you're gonna basically take what's on the carriage and go back?
Yeah, take the carriage and head out. I do suggest that we put the hobgoblin on the carriage too. Might be worth interrogating him to see where the rest of his main force is or something.
Oh, he's very
He hasn't
dead.
bled out yet.
No,
He has
he's
bled out. There you go.
yeah, he got stabbed right in the eye and then was just left to bleed out. So unless he gets immediate medical attention, you don't think he's gonna survive.
Fair. Anything on him that might be valuable remotely?
So you search him. He has chainmail, a shield, a longbow. It looks like he has decent weaponry, actually. Like, not high quality, but decent quality sword and shield and longbow. So there might be a price for it if you could find someone.
All right, I'll throw it on the cart and let's go.
All right. So meanwhile, while that's happening, Shock is kind of getting all the soldiers loaded on. What were you doing, Zerx? Are you just helping him?
Yeah, I was just helping him out and making sure nothing gets left behind that could be used later on.
All right. So you two are doing that. About, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes pass when you would see kind of from the direction that your scouts had left, a cart comes bumping in over the grass hills, and you see Zach and Scurry are with it, along with a new woman who you haven't seen before. Shock looks over and says, Mel? And he runs up and says, Mel! And she says, Shock! And they embrace. He looks to you two, Scurry and Zach, and he says, Thank you. Thank you so much. She's alive. You saved her. And she says, yes, these two helped free me. They saved my life. And he says, I won't forget this. You saved the love of my life. Do you two want to say anything or just kind of nod, or what are you going to do?
Well, she was a tough one. She got through it herself. We were just there to help.
Yeah, he sort of examines her a bit. He says, did they get the bastard that did this to you? And she nods and says, I. And he once again thanks you both. And he says, I don't think we could stay here. We have to make our way through the night. I know it'll be a hard movement, but hopefully we can get there before any more attacks happen. Do you all agree?
Sounds good to me.
It's probably for the best.
All right, let's go then.
I'm going to go check on the kid that was left in the back of the carriage, see how scared he is.
He is, yeah, he's all, what was his name?
I can't remember that.
Let me see.
I thought I could, but
I probably have it in my notes here. Hang on a sec, let me take a look. Carter. Carter is sitting in the carriage. He is, as soon as you open the flap, he's, he's not as scared now because it's been a few minutes and he's been watching kind of Shock and Zerx clean up the battlefield, but he's definitely shaken, turns towards you, and he says, are we safe? Is everything okay?
yeah, we killed him.
He seems more relieved. He says, I saw you go off to scout. Did you... are there more coming?
No, I killed that one too.
Seems like you kill everyone. He says, you're pretty impressive.
I didn't kill you.
Well, I'm appreciative of that. I appreciate that, he says, but do you think we'll be able to make it to town?
That's where we're going.
All right. Let me know if you need any help. I'm sorry, I've just been... And he looks kind of a little bit disappointed. He says, I know I've been kind of cowering back here, but I don't know if I'm ready to use this weapon yet. I don't think I'm skilled enough. I'd just get myself killed.
When we get to town, I'll teach you how to fight a little.
Thank you. Shock yells, all right! The bodies are loaded. We have our dead. Let's make our way quickly to Chaur. Keep your eyes out. There may be another ambush waiting. I don't know why he has a Scottish accent suddenly. That's actually Melody who has the accent. But he kind of gets all the carriages together, and you would begin traveling again. So give me a d20 roll, someone, to see if anything happens.
Just a normal D20?
Yes, anyone give me a d20 roll to see if
There you go.
see what happens on the way. Alright, so luckily, it seems that if there were more of them, they were somewhere else, because the group travels hard through the night, making it to town at about 5 a.m. You approach the front gate, and there are a bunch of guards up there with crossbows and bows kind of looking out. As soon as they see you, one of them yells, "Open the gates!" And the gates are quickly opened to allow you entrance into the town. He says, "The caravan's here. Oh, thank the gods." And Shock says, "Yes, we made it through. We were attacked, but luckily our mercenaries were able to hold them back." And he sort of motions to the three of you. He says, "We took some losses. Can we bring our things to the market?" The guard says, "Of course, it's closed, but you're welcome to store your goods there, and tomorrow, most likely, the people will be overjoyed to see you." He kind of looks back at the rest of you as you enter, and he says, "Thank you. Thank you, the heroes of Chaur. They got the supplies here." And all the guards there kind of go, "Huzzah!" What do you all want to say or do?
I'll hold back and wait till the reveille stuff dies down and ask him if the package is still secure.
So you hold back a little as the guards kind of come over and greet you all, shaking hands. Who are you asking about the package?
Chaur.
Sorry, who?
Shaw. That was
Shock.
his name.
All right.
Yeah.
Shock looks to you almost like with a look of like, "Oh shit," and he says, "Oh, good point. I was so distracted with what was happening, I didn't even check." He goes to the back and he says, "It looks like it's still here." And the guard nods. He says, "It's during the fight we kept a close eye on it, as you said, and it never left our sight." And Shock nods happily. So as this is happening, Sniz, you were sort of kind of near the front of town, late night, kind of looking around when you heard the commotion, and you came over to see that it looks like a caravan made it through the blockade, and you basically kind of see all this unfolding. The caravans are coming into town, the guards are yelling thanks at the supposed these heroes who supposedly fought off the attackers. What do you want to do? Or I think is that Nalo? Are you muted right now?
No, I'm here. I think that I will sort of sneak up. I want to see what they have in the cart. I won't like get into the carriage just yet, but I want to sneak up and look, see if I can figure out what exactly they have in there.
All right, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Which cart?
The big carriage that you have.
So there's a
Okay,
bunch of
so-
carriages. There's about
Okay.
There's about 13 different carriages coming in with the caravan.
I'll look at somewhere in the middle, just a random cart in the middle.
All right. Yeah, it looks like their forces might be depleted a little from the attack. Does anyone have a passive perception of 17 or over? All right. So yeah, you sneak up. You see, it looks like the guards, like I said, they're kind of the town guards are congratulating the caravan guard and these heroes, which some of the people are referring to as the heroes of Chaur, for their dedication to keeping the caravan safe. But you sneak up, and the cart looks like it has a bunch of crates inside, sacks, basically supplies probably for the town and the people who've been sieged this whole time. No one has noticed you yet.
Okay, can I sneak into the cart?
You can, but that's going to be a lot harder.
I see, a lot harder. Okay.
Because there are guards there. And I mean, you basically have to wait for a distraction and sneak right past one of them. So you'd be very close when you did so.
I see. In that case, I will just wait nearby. I'll hover.
Alright, so you keep an eye out. So Shock looks to the three of you and says, I'm gonna get these supplies situated for the evening, and then I'm gonna get some fucking sleep. I'm exhausted. Which tavern are you all going to? And he says, guards, where can we get accommodations? And the guard says, there are two taverns in town. The Maplewood, which is a smaller tavern, but good drink nonetheless, and the larger tavern, the Darkwater, which is where most of the out-of-towners stay when we aren't being sieged. Either are good places to stay. And Shock says, where do you all think you're staying? I'll probably get a room nearby.
All right. Well, I don't really mind, but I do have a suggestion to make if you're interested.
Sure. Does it have to do with sleeping?
No.
I'm very tired. What's your suggestion?
Well, I've got this cart that I got from, the rescue mission, scout/scouting mission.
And a donkey.
You can take it off my hand now and just sell it with the rest of your stuff tomorrow. That way, it saves me the hassle of going to sell it, and that way you earn some extra money because they'll sell it for you cheap, of course.
He says, "Oh well, this isn't my stuff. The caravan company paid me to protect these goods, so I'm not making any money off of this. But I can take your stuff and put it in storage for now, along with the rest of the stuff, and yeah, you can decide later what you want to do with it. Sell it or give it away, whatever you feel's best. But yeah, do you have an idea of where you're going to be staying?" He says, "I definitely owe you all a drink for saving my melody here." And she says,
Which was the closest?
The closer one is the Maplewood, which is the smaller one over here.
Zach will point at that one.
Yeah, that would suit Zerks.
All right, I'll see you at the Maplewood then. Let's get this. Let's get these items secured for the night, gents. And all the guards nod, and they kind of follow the caravan up towards the marketplace up here. So that leaves the three of you along with the guards, who again are still all happy about you getting the supplies here. They get the gate locked down, and things kind of die down as they go back to their patrols and watches. So Nalo, do you follow the carts? Or are you going to stay in the area?
I will follow the carts. I'm most interested about like what's in them. Hopefully, I'm looking for food. Right now, I'm actually pretty hungry.
All right. It does look like they had... well, from the guards talking, it sounded like they did have food because, the town was in need of supplies like food and various other things that they couldn't get right away. So you're following the carriages. What about the three heroes? Where are you headed?
To the inn, I guess, the tavern.
All right. So you make your way towards the Maplewood, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm heading.
All right.
Gonna make sure Carter has a place to stay because I'm responsible for his house.
Yeah. I guess he would be with you too, yeah. Alright, so you're heading over to the Maplewood. As you do so, yeah, you see it's definitely very late. I guess 5 o'clock, the sun might be getting ready to rise. You might see a couple of laborers and farmers getting their things together and going to work for the day, or at least trying to get some work done. They would maybe give you a couple of looks as you pass, because you all look very odd, definitely out of place.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull my hood up a little bit more.
You got a tabaxi. These are all human. Like, you don't think you've even seen a halfling or a dwarf. Like, everyone here looks like they're human. And they would definitely... yeah, they'd definitely be kind of watching you all like, who are you people? Because you're all pretty well armed. You would make it to the Maplewood. Sorry, I was just looking for an NPC sheet here. As you enter, you see kind of a nice looking lobby area with a fire going, and a very tired looking halfling sitting behind a desk. Looks like he's writing something. As you enter, he looks up and smiles and kind of hops over the desk, and he says, "Welcome, friends. Welcome to the Maplewood. It's good to have some visitors. Wow, I don't think I've seen you all in town before."
Just arrived a moment ago, escorting the caravans. Do you have rooms available?
The caravans? The caravans are in town?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Yes, we have rooms available. Name's Vernie Hoppletoe, he says, and walks over and gives you all a big handshake. So, how big is the caravan? Did they have enough supplies for the town?
What I would know is like at least 13 carts,
13
right?
carts, yeah.
No, 13 carts, and what supplies were not damaged during the ambush.
Oh, excellent. Jim, the caravan's arrived. Go see if you can get some supplies for the inn. And one of the looks like maybe you're not sure if it's a bartender or one of the servants runs out, and he nods and he kind of dashes outside towards the market. And he says, "This town definitely owes you. We were getting kind of low on food there. Would you like? Well, you said you need rooms, of course. Let me see what I have." And he goes back and looks at his books. And he says, "You know what? This town owes you. Have some rooms on the house." And he passes 3 keys. And he says, "At least for a night."
Well, thank you very much. That's appreciative.
And he says,
Did Shock come with us?
Shock is currently at the marketplace getting everything secure.
Zach will go ahead and ask if the leader of the group would also be able to get a room.
Give me a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage on that. Okay. He looks a little hesitant, but he says, yeah, of course. If he led the caravans and got them here, then he surely should get a room as well. What's his name?"
Shock.
"All right, if I see this Shock, I'll tell him rooms on us. Is there anything else I could do for you? The bar's right down this way. It's a little bit empty right now, obviously, because it's pretty early, but the bartender is getting things set up for the day, so he can get you some food or drink if you need it."
I'll take a drink to help tuck me in.
All right, so you head off to the bar to grab some drinks for the evening, and I assume the rest of you are going to kind of get settled in.
Yes.
All right, so let me cut back to Sniz for a moment. So you followed these carriages to the marketplace. It looks like they're getting them kind of secured in one of the housing areas where they kind of bring them inside and just kind of close them up in there. What do you want to do? You see the caravan leader sort of talking to a bunch of different people. You think you heard the guards call him Shock, which I think I have his picture. One sec.
Well, I don't know. I'm really hungry, actually, but I really don't want to take any risks, so I think I'll wait for the food to be probably portioned out later on. So maybe I think I'll stick around very close by, but I'm gonna wait for a better opportunity, maybe tomorrow. But I'm planning to steal some food and maybe some other things too.
All right, so where are you gonna head? Just home for the evening?
I'm gonna head
back
home
to
for
the
the
inn.
evening.
You'd probably
I'll
have
go back to the inn.
yeah.
I have like a hovel. I don't really have like a very nice place, but I have like a grungy little
Alright.
You got a little
outpost
shack.
A little
shack.
somewhere, sure.
somewhere in the city.
You're shacked up somewhere in the city. That's fine. So you head back home to get some sleep, and yeah, you figure you'll take a look into this tomorrow. So Shock, yeah, he comes back later. He might find who is up drinking? Zach?
Yep.
So you might find
I'll join her as well there at the bar. Just, you know. Yeah.
I'm standing there, but I'm not drinking.
All right.
Does Carter drink, or is he too young?
He says, "Hell yeah, I'll drink. Of course. I ain't no square.
What's an alcohol? What's an age? What's an age requirement for alcohol? That doesn't exist. This is fantasy.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're on the frontier. Like, no one's gonna. Anyone who wants can drink. If you have money, they're not gonna. Yeah, there's no like national empire like legal age. So yeah, he would be drinking as well. Shock would come in and he says, "I heard you got me a free room. Also, what are you all still doing up? Go to bed, gods. It's like 5:30 in the morning."
You promised a free drink.
You remembered that. And he laughs. He says, yeah, I'll get you a free drink. All right, so he walks up and buys you all around. He says, I meant it, by the way. I owe you all quite a bit for saving Melody. I think I'd like to work with you again if it's possible. He says, I thought for sure she had been killed in the last caravan. So you all... Go ahead.
If it pays, that's fine with me.
He says, well, there is still the siege going on. I'm sure they're looking to hire mercenaries to help get rid of some hobgoblins, so if you find out anything, I'm down. But for now, I think I'm going to go get some sleep. And he kind of puts the money down for the drinks and is going to bed along with Melody. So you all drink... Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's just a little important to remember that finding the cart was a joint effort, kitty cat.
Of course, everything gets split 50-50.
I'm gonna push my drink towards the kid and be like, "Here, you deserve this more."
He is happy to take your drink, and actually, this is his third drink, so he is looking kind of plastered. Like, woo!
I find that hilarious.
You laugh at him. All right. So you all drink a little bit, and I assume maybe talk a little, then go to bed. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds good for me.
So the group gets some sleep. Yeah, you all feel much better rested. Unfortunately, you would need 8 hours. So that's going to put your time to about... It's 8 plus 5 a.m. plus 8.
1:30.
So you wake up in the afternoon, feeling nice and relaxed.
Put our HP back to full.
Yeah, you'd be at full with resources and HP. And your current resting time is 1:30 in the afternoon. So to change that back, you just have to go to bed very early. Alright, so what do you all want to do today? I assume you'd wake up, kind of go down and maybe meet in the tavern.
Well, Carter has to go clean the caravan.
Yeah,
He's the caravan stable boy now.
Carver has already been put to work by Shock. You'd probably hear some cursing as Shock starts giving him his daily chores. And Shock says, "It's what you get for stealing from my caravan, boy."
How hungover is he?
He looks extremely hungover as he's holding his head there with one of his eyes closed and just kind of as Shock is giving him a huge workload. And Shock says, "You shouldn't drink all night right before work. You need to learn responsibility. Now get to the market." And he would take off towards the market.
Zach's finding all of that hilarious.
I'm snickering at him, going.
All right. So you laugh at his misfortune a bit, and what do you want to do, the three of you? I assume you're just around the inn right now. Vernie is kind of excitedly checking some new people in, as some of the guards still need rooms, as they kind of slept with the carriages last night on guard duty. A bunch of people are kind of showing up at the tavern asking about the heroes of Chaur. Vernie would look to the group and say, "Do you want me to tell people who you are, or would you rather them not talk to you?"
Doesn't matter to me.
Fine with me.
Alright, well, you might be getting some fans then. He laughs. So Sniz, I'll cut to you again. What are you doing today?
I'm getting up and I'm going straight to the market.
Alright, so the market is packed. Like, pretty much everyone in town is showing up to try to get some food. There's yelling, the guards are trying to keep order as they're basically selling stuff, or basically kind of monitoring the merchants selling stuff and trying to keep them safe because people are really desperate to get some supplies. So, yeah, there's just people everywhere when you get to the market.
All right. I think I'll hang around the outskirts for now and sort of like look and see what I can see, right?
Alright, so you're just going to look for opportunities to steal food?
Yes, I'm going for opportunities to steal food specifically because I'm actually really hungry and it's been really tight these last couple of weeks.
Alright, give me a perception check. Alright. Give me a stealth check. Alright, so you're working on that. Unfortunately, you're having some trouble figuring out a good time to sneak in. But you're keeping an eye out looking for an opening, basically. What is the rest of the group doing while this is happening?
I would ask. I would go up to Shock and ask him, who would we go to collect our payment?
Oh, how foolish of me. He would hand you all a sack with some gold. He says, I meant to give this to you last night. It's the 5 gold as promised, plus another 5 tip for doing such a good job. So he gives you each 10 gold pieces.
Thank you.
He nods.
That tip is for your lady friend.
Oh, for her and just for helping keep all the supplies safe. I mean, if you all weren't there, I don't know if we would have survived. You did quite a good job.
Appreciate it. What about our cart and stuff? Is that still at the marketplace? Is that being monitored by someone, sold by someone? What's going on there?
It's in storage right now. You could go see it, though the marketplace is a shit show from what I've seen. All the people are trying to get some food, so it's packed to the brim right now. But yeah, your cart should be there, so if you want to go pick it up or try to sell some of your stuff, I'm sure you'll find buyers.
Alright, well, Zaquin, whenever you're ready, I'm down to sell our stuff at the market then. Get it off our hands quickly.
Sure, let's go make some extra coin.
I'll ask Shaka, who would we talk to about finding more work?
He says, well, I think there's a bounty. I mean, I would guess there's a bounty on hobgoblins. There's, from what I was told, there's a barracks in town. Old barracks from the previous town before it was sacked. The building has all the government officials, guards stay there. I think you could probably find wanted posters. Other than that, there's Lord Blackwater, who lives in the north part of town. I think he's the only one here with some money. Yeah, maybe just ask around.
Was that the one that required the package, correct?
He looks at you, he says, oh yeah, we did talk about that. He says, yes, he was the one who wanted that package that we delivered, which I assume he has it by now.
Alright, I'll make my way. I'll follow the group for now.
Alright, so you're headed over to the marketplace. When you get there, one of the guards, who's kind of at the outskirts, would see you and say, the heroes of Chaur, the ones who saved the caravan. And everyone, like a huge group of people, just see you and they run over and start congratulating you. You would see this as well, Sniz. The heroes from last night seem to be here. But yeah, people are thanking you, shaking your hand, basically just completely surrounding you and maybe even overwhelming you a bit. What do you want to do?
I'll politely tell a couple of them they can back off.
Alright, so they seem a bit put down a little, but they nod and try to give you your space. So you would make your way through the crowd. But yeah, again, people are very happy to see you. You get to where the guards basically are guarding all the caravan supplies, and they let you through. And you see your little carriage there, along with your donkey who's eating some hay.
All right, how you want to do this?
Is the hobgoblin corpse still in the back of it?
Oh, did
Yeah, we
you want
didn't
to?
bring
Did you
it.
want to bring that?
No, we didn't put it in.
I would assume that you took his gear, but if you want,
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
have
we took
brought
the
the
gear.
corpse. Yeah. Okay, so the
didn't bring the
gear's
corpse.
there. Yeah, which is probably the most valuable stuff. But yeah, you see there are a bunch of supplies there, like food and ropes and just pots, pans, various things. And of course, the chainmail, longbow, shield, sword, and arrows, which is what the hobgoblin had.
I'm a gesture towards the shield. May I look?
And go for it. I won't sell for much anyway.
I'll take a look at it and see if it's worth me keeping it.
So it is a steel shield with what looks like the stamp of a large wave of maybe iron or steel. Looks like some kind of group insignia. Does anyone, or do you have history?
I do not.
All right. So does anyone have history who can see that? All right. So yeah, you're not sure what exactly it means, but yeah, some kind of marking, and the same marking is on the armor as well.
I'll hold on to the shield.
All right, so you take the shield. It's basically mechanically, it's just a shield. Nothing too special about it.
I didn't have one before. That's all that matters.
Yeah, so now you have one. So yeah, do you want to try to sell the stuff? That was the idea?
Yeah.
All right, so I think persuasion might be an applicable skill. Are you going to try to sell it for inflated prices or just like normal price to these desperate people? You do see that a lot of the merchants are selling things at much higher value.
What do you think, Sequin? We're gonna try and get some extra coin out of this, or give something back to these people?
Well, some of the things that aren't necessities I would sell, but maybe some of the food and stuff might slip into the hands of some people that need it.
Oh, so you want to give
Alright.
away some of the supplies?
If I would I know? Like, is she voicing that very loudly or no?
She's probably keeping it a little quiet.
You will start a panic, a stampede. We will be rushed like you have no idea.
That's true.
Well, there are guards there, kind of keeping the crowd at bay. So you probably could try to give it away safely.
Is there a church?
So from here, you don't see one. You might have to ask around. There's none obvious in the area.
Well, personally, I'm not one for charity, but if you'd like, we can sell the most of the important stuff for the most valuable stuff at the going rates, which seem to be quite inflated, and then we can sell the food at half price. Let's say it's just to give something back to these people that need it.
All right, so sort of like a balance where like the luxuries you're going to sell higher, but like the necessities you sell at normal price.
Yeah.
Or are you going to sell the necessities cheaper, like half price?
It's up to Sequin. If it was up to me, I'd sell it at normal price, but I'll leave it up to her. She's part of this, after all.
I say we undercut these people a little bit and make sure the stuff goes.
All right, so give me persuasion checks to sell this stuff.
Both of us?
I'll take up to 2 checks from the group, so you can choose who wants to do it.
Would you like some assistance?
How good are you at persuading people?
I mean, just look at me.
And also, Sniz, you kind of see that these heroes are setting up a little stand to sell stuff as well from your hiding spot within the crowd.
Hmm. Okay. I think I take very close notice and interest because these people are very different from the other guards that sort of are pretty common, I guess.
Yeah, they are definitely better armed than anyone you've seen, and they are very exotic looking. Like, well, I guess you wouldn't see Zach because she's kind of has her hood up the whole time, but
I
I
see
don't.
the panther,
Yeah, and I don't know if you've
panther
ever even
tabaxi.
seen a tabaxi because they are extremely rare. Because yeah, and they're all pretty well armed, so they must be mercenaries of some kind. Maybe one of the mercenary empire groups. Though they don't have
Well,
any symbols identifying their group if they are one. People just keep calling them the heroes of Chaur.
I see. So I'm pretty mad that I haven't been getting much of an opportunity to get any food, and I'm a bit hungry, but I'm sort of more interested than hungry now in these people now that I see them up close. Because I sort of missed them when I mean, I saw them, but I wasn't really too interested in them. But now I'm a bit more interested. I think I'm gonna sort of hang around them, but I won't make myself known to them just yet.
All right. So why don't we do some quick character um, descriptions since he can see you better now. Zach, what would you look like to him?
Um,
Actually, I
what all does he
forgot
see?
that.
Because
So he would see, and we should actually do one for Bo too, because I forgot he wasn't actually here last time. Even though story wise he was in the caravan, but we just pretended he was here. So he would probably be about 30 feet away, just hiding among the crowd, watching you all setting up your shop here with like the guards in front, kind of keeping people in line.
well, I stay cloaked because most people don't like me. Uh, the cloak shifts around my feet a lot.
All right. Would there be any visible like symbols or weapons or like your armor, or you just look cloaked to him?
Just cloaked.
All right. What about Zerks? What would you look like to him?
I would be about 6'3". Basically, think of like a Arabian deserts kind of Middle Eastern kind of vibe, like, and has like all the safari like, and stuff like that. Just this very loud and boisterous and happy looking person. He has a two-handed sword on the back that's wrapped, and he's carrying it in as well as a glaive. And he has the most noticing thing about him is he has all these charms all over, like all the same design, but they all look different and worn.
I see.
What about Bo?
And just a panther tabaxi with a hood up, rapier at his side, and you might be able to spot a hint of a short bow on his back, as well as a quiver.
All right. So yeah, give me those perception checks from two of you as you try to sell your stuff.
Uh,
Persuasion.
Or persuasion.
Sorry, not persuasion, not perception. I'm a liar.
Damn, I still do bad.
10.
so you're saying you were confident in your persuasion ability, Zerx?
It was must have taken a blow or two to hit my pride.
Zach, how confident are you?
I'm pretty good at persuading people.
Yeah, so this is going to be over several hours of selling, so it's not right away. So I'm just going to take the two rolls and then I'll tell you how you did.
Do you want me to go ahead and roll it, or do you want to?
I have Zerx as one of the roles. The party can choose who they want to be their second, basically representative.
Yeah, I was asking Bo if he wanted or
Oh.
if I should.
Yeah, sure. You help with the selling, and I'll just make sure that there's no shady characters coming up to our stand.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll give you both advantage because you guys are the heroes of Char, and everyone is kind of enthralled with you right now.
There you go.
All right.
I was just thinking, Zach's probably got it set up like one of those shady fucking people you see in the alleyway. Hey,
So
You want to?
there are definitely lots of people coming over towards you because, well, you have supplies and you're the heroes. So people are coming over. Some of them trying to buy, some of them just trying to talk to you, figure out like who you are, like what happened to the caravan, who's attacking the town, all these questions. So you do pretty good with your selling. Sniz, you said you were kind of more interested in them now. Are you approaching as well?
Yeah, I think so. I'm approaching sort of with the crowd, just sort of blending in for now.
Okay, so you're kind of listening as they're kind of selling. You note that they are selling the necessities much cheaper than everyone else, but they're charging more for like the luxurious items, which I'm not sure how you'd feel about that. But people are definitely happy that they're able to get stuff. You sell out of your necessities like almost instantly. People just buy as much as they can. And the luxury items take longer, but you would sell those out as well. So you would make about 23. I'll say you made about 40 gold pieces off all the stuff, which is actually a very high amount. The luxuries, even though they were expensive, sold pretty well. During that time, Sniz, you're in the crowd watching as people are buying and basically trying to talk to these people. Are you going to just keep watching, or what are you doing?
I'll just keep watching for now.
Okay. So several hours pass. You've sold out your stuff. People are still hanging out trying to talk to you more. What do you want to do as a group?
We could find work in a few places if y'all are interested. We could head to the barracks, or we could go to the lord of this area.
Yeah, I'd say divvy up the money, put the caravan and donkey back with the guards for now, and then see if we can get some more jobs at the barracks. And if that's a bust or we want to look for more, we can try and get an audience with the lord or whatever. We should be able to as the heroes or Chaur or whatever.
All right. So you're heading which way?
Heading towards the barracks.
Gotcha. All right, so the group finishes up. You sort of say maybe goodbye to everyone as you're headed across town.
I'm the opposite of Zach. Like the way she pushes them away, I'm just letting
Yeah,
them all. Like...
you're sort of like the party's PR department. You're like, hey, yeah, here's a Chaur, woo! It's like waving at everybody.
And I have these two stealthy, like, depressed emo people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You got your stealthy, like leave us alone, and you're just welcoming everyone. So as you're moving across the marketplace, you are approached by a very strange-looking man who's not wearing a shirt and barely wearing any clothes, other than maybe some furs around his midsection. He says, "Heroes of Chaur, was it?"
Yes, can we be of assistance, sir?
He says, "My name is Neil," and he bows to you. He says, "I have an employer who is very interested in learning more about you and your skills."
And who would this employer be?
He sort of looks around as there's a bunch of people. And actually, does anyone have a decent insight? Like a passive insight, we'll say of like 14 or over.
Yeah,
All
about
right.
14.
So you would notice a couple of the people who are with you kind of back off and just walk away as this guy approaches, almost as if like they know who he is or they're a little bit afraid of him. And
You seem.
go
Oh, I'll
ahead.
call him out on it. I'll be like, "That seems you have a reputation around about yourself."
He sort of looks around. He says, "Well, those of skill and power are sometimes feared by others, but if you are as good as I'm hearing, then perhaps there is profit that can be made. We're always looking for people with skill and talent." He says, "As for my employer, are you familiar with the Blood Hand?" And actually, when he says that name, you would pretty much all be somewhat familiar with the Blood Hand, either through dealing with them or through reputation. The Blood Hand are a mafia-like organization that operates within the Empire. So those of you who have thieving skills would definitely know of them. They're known to be vicious and cruel, but also known to be people of their word. So they don't generally break their contracts. If you're someone of skill and value, you can usually make some money off working with them. He says, if you have some time, as I said, my employer would love to meet you.
We will discuss this. If we decide to take you up on your offer, where can we find you?
He says, I'll tell you what, I'll find you. You're in the Maplewood, yes?
Yes.
He nods. He says, I'll come meet up with you later, and maybe you'll have a decision by then. He says, I hope we can work together. Good luck to you, heroes of Chaur. And he smiles and just kind of turns around and starts walking this way down the main street there.
Your thoughts on that? No,
I don't usually trust those sort.
And Sniz, you would be in the crowd nearby as well. And you know that, the Blood Hand, first of all, you're kind of confused as to why they're operating within this region of the Empire, as you never would have thought a frontier town would be a good place to make profit. You know they've been here for a while, and you know that the people are very uncomfortable with them being here.
Yeah. I'll take note of that.
Okay.
This encounter.
Yeah. What do the three of you want to do? Who was the naked man?
He was a rampant flasher. We just got flashed. We all take one level of fatigue and mental scarring.
Yeah, evolve. No, he was. He was basically. He claimed to be a employee of a criminal organization known as the Blood Hand, and he was looking to possibly work with the Heroes of Chaur. He asked if you would come meet his employer for possible work, and the party declined, saying maybe later.
Well, I guess it's on to the barracks then.
Alright, so the group continues moving across town. As you do, like I said, people are sort of approaching you and thanking you, as it appears that the guards have spread word of your deeds. You would make it to the barracks, where there's a couple of soldiers there. They would... are you trying to enter?
I would ask for permission. We're looking for work. Where would we go?
So the guard, as you approach, he says, well, there's a universal bounty on hobgoblin heads right now. So I think they're going for a gold piece each. But I don't know what else the town's offering. Let me go ask. And one of the guys says, hey, aren't you those Heroes of Chaur?
That is us.
Oh, I think the mayor was looking to talk to them, actually. The other guard says, really? He looks them over. They don't look like, well, alright, let me go see. And he says, wait here, I'll be right back. So one of the guards goes inside. Some time passes, and he comes back out and says, yeah, the mayor will see you if you have some time.
Yes, I believe we do. And I look at the other party members, and yeah.
Might as well.
Alright, so you're led inside where you see the barracks is pretty, well, I don't want to say busy, but there's a good amount of people kind of moving to and from, some guards on their way out on patrol and others kind of coming in. There's a kind of front desk area where a woman's talking to a bunch of people. Some guards are chatting back and forth. But you'd be led past all of that with a couple of whispers, as your party is very noticeable and well armed. The guard leads you to a back area where there's a door, and he walks inside, motioning for you to follow. So I assume you follow him inside?
Yep, let's get this done with.
All right.
Don't have a reason not to.
So you walk in, and there are several individuals speaking with a younger-looking woman. They would notice the group enter, and the younger-looking woman, who looks like she's leading the conversation, looks up and says, these must be the heroes of Chaur, as everyone's calling them. Welcome to our town. My name is Asher, Mayor Asher. She smiles at you all. She says, I hope you've been enjoying your stay so far.
Well, it's been all right.
And she says, I will speak to the rest of you later. And the townsfolk nod and they kind of head out. And she says, so what brings you here today?
And we're just looking to see if there's any more work that needs to be done, anything that we can do to help out besides just slaughtering hobgoblins. I mean, yes, it'll be done regardless.
She says, well, things are in a bit of an uproar right now with the supplies arriving. Thank you again for doing that. We've been trying to figure out who these hobgoblins are and where they come from, why they're here. So any information you could bring us on what exactly is going on would be helpful. It seems like they're endless. We've been attacked by multiple groups, some as small as 5 or 6, and the largest one I think was 20. They seem to be mostly. I almost feel like they're more intimidating us than trying to break through our gates, as they often just fire arrows at us or try to drive people back if they leave town. It's very odd. She says, I've sent requests for help to the Empire and even to the nearby city of Highguard, but so far we've gotten no help from anyone. She says, so yeah, right now just taking care of fighting off the hobgoblins, lowering their numbers, and maybe bringing us more information. Any of that could be of help.
Okay. Oh, did anybody say they knew what the crest was on the shield or no?
I don't think anyone knew, no.
No one knew.
Okay.
She says, there are other mercenaries who I've hired to try to find the location of their base, but so far we haven't gotten any solid leads. So if you can figure out where their main base is, where they're striking from, that would be very helpful. Pretty much all the towns all the farms in the area that weren't within the gate have been razed, so all the farmers have either been killed or retreated to town. So if you can clear the area around Chaur, maybe try to fight back some of their forces to make the farm safe again, that could be useful.
Okay.
And what would the reward for their hideout be? The location of it?
She kind of sighs, looking at some of her notes. She says, how's our coffers looking? I could offer you 30 gold pieces for that information.
I believe that's reasonable enough.
And
And the goal rates were 1 gold per hobgoblin head. Is that correct?
Yes, or it doesn't have to be their head. Any proof of you killing them is fine. Some people are bringing back ears, so if you can get like a left ear or something.
All right, sounds good.
She nods. And really any information, because we've been in the dark, and I would love to know more about why this is happening. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Would I have noticed if they had this crest on their other armor when we were before we left? From the ones that we killed inside the caravan circle?
So it was on their armor and on their shield were the two places you saw it.
So, what was a universal one? Like they all shared it.
Oh, yeah. It seemed like all the hobgoblins had those markings. So
Okay, so it wouldn't be okay. Now that makes it easier. So I would ask her, do you know anything about this emblem?
So you take out the shield. She says, "Yes, that seems to be what the hobgoblins what markings they have. We don't know anything about it though."
Very well.
We've had a few other people asking around about it, but so far we haven't been able to figure out who they are or what that means. If you can figure that out, I'd be willing to pay you for that information too. Really, anything would help. So quick question to Sniz. You probably didn't follow them inside, right?
No, I'm waiting outside. Right now I'm actually I'm like preparing myself to talk to them
Okay.
when they
Like,
come back out.
mentally getting prepared to talk to these
Yeah.
heroes. Gotcha.
Roll a mental pump check.
You got this, Sniz.
Mental
You got
pump
this.
check.
It rolls a -2. How the fuck did I pull this off?
You walk
Mental
out, you're
pumps check. Would that be like persuasion? I have to persuade myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't say anything stupid. Idiot, why'd you say that?
Hey!
Oh, he's pumped. He is ready.
Pumped, dude.
I'm confident, but
You're-
damn am I hungry.
super hungry and super confident. All right, so back inside, the mayor says, so yes, anything you could bring us, I would be happy to send some money your way. I mean, you've done such a good job getting us this food, so I have faith that you can help us further. Was there anything else you wish to speak with me about? I'm, as you can imagine, extremely busy right now.
No, that is all for now. If we find any information or learn anything new, we'll come with you to you with it.
All right, thank you for that.
All right, I'll take our leave.
So you head out of the barracks. You get some nods from the guards as you leave, as they were, you assume, kind of talking a little bit about you after you walk through. What do you want to do once you're outside? It's probably about mid-afternoon at this point, as you woke up late and have been kind of, selling your wares and walking around, looking up at the sky. You would guess. Where did my calendar go? Looking at the sky, you would guess it's probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I am not one for much of the nature and tracking. What about you guys?
Me neither, but I do have what might be a decent plan if you guys are up for it.
I'm interested.
Well, there's a barricade around the city, as we know, on the roads mostly, with, ambushes and stuff. What if we grabbed our cart with the donkey, asked to borrow, by explaining what we're planning to do, some boxes from the local merchants, can be empty, and then head down one of the roads, and then attempt to get ambushed and kill them, and then try and find out where they came from.
No, it's not a bad idea, but I don't know how we'd fare against 20 hobgoblins. You?
We can ask the guard fellow that gave us our last job for some help, see if he'd be interested in perhaps, aiding us in this adventure.
Maybe put people in the boxes.
We can hide people in the boxes, that's a good shout.
I just get the feeling she wants to put people in the boxes, though. You're not putting Carter in the box.
No, Carter is staying here because he'll get his little ass killed out there.
Carter would be good bait though, it helps sell the whole charade, but
I
it's up
expected
to you.
better from you. He's like, you guys explain that to Carter how you want to put him in a box. I'll stay out of that. Man.
Not on the box, on the actual cart. In sight. But anyway, does this sound like a good plan to you guys?
If
Well,
we have
I-
the numbers and we get help, yes, it does sound feasible.
While they're having this conversation, I'm assuming it's right outside the shop. Can I run up to them and bow? Give a nice.
Yeah,
bow.
sure. So yeah, as you're all talking here, you are suddenly approached by a halfling who runs up and bows. What do you look like to them?
I'm sort of like scraggy. I have unkempt hair, and my beard is sort of longer than it should be and not trimmed. And my clothes are that of like an ordinary citizen, possibly worse. I'm a sorry sight to say the least. But I have a pack on my back that's nice. It's the only nice thing I have. I have this nice travel pack on my back. Um, and so I sort of just present myself to them, and I give a nice cordial bow, and then I stand up. That's sort of what they see.
All right.
Yes. How can we help you, sir?
Well, I'm about 5 feet away from him. I do not like people running up on me, so
Well,
I imagine scared cat's about a good
I see.
description of it.
Okay.
She might.
Oh,
jump
Is
back
another
a little.
person trying to thank the heroes of whatever this place is called again? I don't remember.
Great heroes. Sorry but I need to ask a great favor of you. As you know, we have this barricade around our small town here. I'm actually just a traveler passing through, but the law says that no citizens can leave the city while the siege is here. So I've been stuck. But possibly, if I could join your party as an adventurer, they would let me leave. I'm a bard, so I wouldn't be useless. I could play music for you around the campfire, and well, I've never been in a fight before, but I imagine I could do something.
You
Well,
keep
he'd
running
be-
up on people like that, and you will have a fight.
Oh, I'm sort of taken back. I realize I kind of ran in, and so I step back a bit and terribly sorry. I didn't mean to jump up on you. I just, you know, I like to skulk around a bit. It's been tough lately, and everyone's on edge.
Calm down, Zach. He'd be great as bait for our plan in the front of the cart.
Yes.
My
Yes.
face goes white.
He is small, less
He would-
intimidating than we could be.
Do
he
you
would
have
fit in a
any?
box.
Sorry. Do you have any obvious weapons on you, or are they all like hidden somewhere?
My weapons, I have they're all hidden. I don't
Okay.
have any obvious weapon.
So you would kind of almost look like a villager to them, huh?
Yes, I'm a villager. I look like a
Gotcha.
villager.
Okay. Sorry.
He would fit in a crate, though.
He would fit in a crate.
He is
I
very
mean, you wouldn't
small.
have to fit him in a crate. He'd be great as the bait. We want him visible. We want us not to be visible, so then they'll attack.
We want the crate as a bait. I mean, the bait as a crate.
Yeah, he actually
So,
looks smaller than Carter.
So I'm a little, turning red in the face, and I can tell that they're joking around. But I'm happy that they've sort of received me well-ish, at least in this greeting.
I'm gonna take a closer look to see if to try and perceive if he is a threat at all, though. Like,
So where would you be keeping your weapons right now on you?
I have daggers and darts, but they're in my pack.
Okay. Are they someplace you could actually get to them, or are they like hidden in your backpack? So like you
They're
couldn't
hidden in my
even-
back. I
Okay.
couldn't pull them out in a fight right away.
So give me a perception check if you're taking a look at Nalo. I'll take perception or insight on this one if anyone wants to try to kind of size them up a bit.
nope, I'm doing terrible today.
So
I need a new mouse.
let's see, Zach and Scurry. You might notice the way he carries himself might suggest to you, especially the way he kind of. And I assume were you trying to bluff them at all, like with how you act, like you're trying to be really scared looking, or were you? Because you do have some weapons training.
Yes,
believe,
I have
right?
weapons training, and I've actually traveled a lot. I have a lot of experience, but I'm sort of just stuck here, and I want to join their group. But I was bluffing a little bit.
Go ahead and give me a deception check. If you were trying to kind of make yourself to look like wimpy. Okay, so yeah, you would think that with those rolls that he might have some training in weaponry, like just by the way he kind of moves and the way he's like sizing all of you up and watching the area, that he isn't just like some peasant. But you wouldn't know much about that.
Well, it should be good enough to fool some hobgoblins from far away anyway.
Alright.
Well, little fella, if you'd like, we can meet us tomorrow at the inn. If this whole plan kicks off, then we should be leaving from there. Maple, I think we're staying at. Is that right, Zach?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. I'll meet you there then. Well, thank you so much. I bow again, flourishly, and I scurry off.
I'm gonna. Would I be able to tell he's like fucking starving or nothing at this point?
He does look very hungry because I don't think he's eaten
I'll,
yet.
I'll give him like three of my rations.
Oh, all right. So as you're leaving, one of the taller guys, have you given him your names?
We have not.
All right. So yeah, the taller,
Oh.
human-looking guy sort of pulls out a bunch of food and just hands it to you. Says, "Hey, here you go."
My face turns red, and I bow again.
All right.
And then I leave.
So you take the food.
I take the food, yes.
All right. So he takes the food and scurries off.
You know, he kind of reminds me of my rat.
I knew I noticed something similar. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but yes, you're right.
All right. So what do the three of you want to do? As he scurries down the block.
Well, I guess what's left is trying to get a hold of Shaq. I think the guy's name is.
Shock, yeah.
And then looking at some of the merchants that we helped escort and see if we can borrow some of the boxes for this this plan if we're gonna do it.
All right, so you head back to the marketplace to talk to Shock.
Yes.
All right, you head back over here. It's calming down a bit because most of the supplies have been sold, and there are still some people kind of coming in to buy things, but yeah, it's definitely more manageable. Shock is talking to some of the guards, and he would wave to you as you head up. He says, friends, it's good to see you again. Have you found anything as far as jobs go?
We could go hunt hobgoblins, but we do have a plan that we would like to run by you and see if you could offer aid of some kind.
Of course. What's your plan?
I will let Bo handle that. It was his idea after all.
Alright, well, we were planning on getting our cart that we obviously got last time with our donkey, and then running it down one of the roads and trying to look weak, trying to get ambushed, and then with that to take out the hobgoblins, strike up the reward for them, and hopefully find a way back to wherever they're coming from. We were thinking of maybe borrowing some boxes from the merchants we helped out and hiding some men in there as well.
He thinks and he says to maybe capture some of them.
Exactly. Interrogate him.
All right, yeah, I can see that. He says, yeah, I'd be fine to help out with that. I'm looking for some payback anyway. Let me see if I can get us some boxes. And we only have, are you talking about that donkey carriage that you were pulling?
Yeah, I mean, we could take another carriage as well, but we have that one, so that's where we were going from. But if you want to use different carriages, that's fine with me.
He says, well, just the one cart might not look like a caravan, though they could mistake us for maybe some travelers trying to break the siege. I think that would work. Let me see what I can do about getting those crates. When are we planning on doing this? Tonight, or are we waiting till tomorrow?
I'd say we wait till tomorrow. Not all of us can see in the dark.
Yeah, I was thinking tomorrow morning we set off some traders or travelers trying to get in, out the city by dawn.
He nods. He says, another thing that might be of value. I heard that some of the hobgoblins have taken up residence in the farms that were abandoned. So that could be another avenue. If we want to try to clear some of those farms out, there's probably people there to be captured.
Which is there a farm close by?
The closer farms, I don't know if they're there, but there was a couple of farmers I was talking to while they were buying food that say the hobgoblins took over their houses as they were run out. So probably maybe a few miles out to the pretty much in any direction, actually. 15 gold. Yeah, I'm not sure how you want to split that. There's 40 and there were 3 of you, so however you want to split it. You can also keep it in some kind of party fund. Oh, that's what sorry, I actually forgot about that. Is anyone willing to do journal today? It was Xerx's turn, but I know I forgot to say that at the beginning. And I am offering a inspiration point for doing it.
Yeah, if somebody else doesn't mind, my mind's just kind of not there today.
And you can either do it as like
So what is it? It's just like a document of.
Yeah, so it's like
what
a
happened.
log of what happened. You can do it as like a bullet point. You can do it as like an actual write up from your character. I mean, pretty much like I had one guy who did it where he did like a whole poem out of it. But I mean, it's up to you. You can go as much or as little as you want. It's basically just so you guys can kind of keep track of what's been happening, and if new players come in, they can kind of read the log and see like where the group is.
I see. I can do it.
All right, who is that?
Sniz.
Sniz. That's Nalo, right?
Yeah, Nalo.
Nalo, yeah. All right, cool.
All right,
Thank you for
we
doing
expect
that.
poems.
We expect poems, yeah.
Makes the bestest of poems.
Uh,
Soliloquies.
Another thing some groups do, and I think we may have talked about this a little bit, is you can have a party treasury, which actually I do have a sheet for under resources. So you can actually kind of like store stuff and give it out in there. So if someone wants to be quartermaster, that's another thing we can have someone do. But like for the 40 gold, if you want to keep it in there for now and buy stuff for the group or split it, it's up to you how you want to handle that.
I'm down for everything that we earn as a group to just go into the party treasury, including like, supplies and stuff like that we get. Like the cart would be in there,
Yeah,
and then we
that's
just
fine
sell
with
and own it as a party.
All right, do you want to be quartermaster, Bo?
Yeah, sure, I'll do it.
All right, so I'll put you as quartermaster, and yeah, pretty much, yeah, like the cart, the donkey, anything you want, put in the party treasury. The only thing you have to make sure is to kind of note who's carrying it and where it is. So, like, if you want to leave something at a house somewhere, just make note of that, or like at your room at the inn or something. But you should be able to edit that under resources, the party treasury, so you can put the 40 gold in the wagon in there, or sorry, the carriage and the donkey.
Just did.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Shock says he'll try to get those. Or wait, do we want to do the farms, or do we want to do the like carriage? How do we want to do this?
Why not?
Out of character, real quick. I'm assuming that the farms are next to the road. Right.
So the farms are sort of spread out all over. There are some that are near the road, but there are also some that are like in more like nature paths that are kind of off to the side. They're just kind of in the surrounding area around Chaur.
I'd say we'd head towards one that's like in between towns, so it looks like we're traveling towards the other town.
Okay, yeah, and there are some along the path to Highguard, which is where you just came from.
So, but I'd say we do the plan as if we were going towards to try and bait somebody, but head towards a farm, just in case nobody shows up.
Gotcha. All right. So he says, "All right, then I will get some. I'll get some crates for tomorrow."
Oh, and are you? How are you on tracking and going through nature? I am subpar in that category.
He says, "I've learned a few tricks as a caravan goer over the years, but I wouldn't say I'm great at it."
If you could find somebody that is great at it, that would be very useful, I suppose.
I'll ask around. I don't know how much talent we can find in this town, but yeah, I'll see.
There is always that one group we could talk to. They are waiting for us.
It
If
wasn't
anybody
naked guy.
if anybody needs convincing, you can always say that they're invited to come quest or come on an adventure with the heroes of Chaur.
Shock. Shock says, wait, you said there was a group that was waiting for you? What group?
What was it called? The
Blood Hand?
The Blood End.
So when you say that, he says, they have
Something about
they have members here?
one of them propositioned us on our way to the barracks.
Yeah, he was mostly naked.
He thinks, he says, Blood Hand. Huh. Well, they do tend to have skilled people, but I don't know. Those guys are mean. Uh, I'll leave that up to you. There's a chance they have money, but it's a little shady for me. I tend to take more up and up jobs.
Understandable.
He says, "Well, let me know what you think. I'll go and get those supplies ready and see who I can find." And he would take his leave.
Alrighty. So I guess, is there anything else anybody else needs to do today, or we can just head back to the inn?
I want to go check on Melody, and then I want to go tease Carter.
All right, so yeah, you guys kind of head back to the inn because Melody and Carter are both there. Melody is still recovering. She would thank you again, giving you a big hug this time that her hands aren't bound. Maybe talking to you a bit. But yeah, she seems like she's doing better. Sniz, what are you doing in all this?
Right now, I am gathering up my belongings and getting ready to hopefully leave forever. I don't know if I'll stay with the party forever. It was sort of scary sneaking out by myself, especially with the hobgoblins. I don't really know what's going on, but I don't know if I'll stay with the party forever. I just want to sort of like leave with them potentially, because I noticed that they got in and
They seem to be competent. What about
Yeah.
Zerx? What's he doing in this time?
I'm going to join in and mess with Carter. I'm going to eye him up, see how he would fit in a crate.
All right. So he's been busy all day. When you get back to the tavern, he's just pooped sitting upstairs in his room. He's or maybe in a room that Shock got for him because he's kind of poor. But he's definitely not drinking today. What about Bo? What are you doing?
I try and look around the inn to see if I can find the naked guy.
All right. Actually, that's not your character name. It's Scurry, right?
Yeah.
All right. For some reason, you're coming up as Bo on the thing here. So sorry, you're gonna look around for the naked guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Neil.
So, Neil.
His
Yeah.
name is Tarzan now.
Yeah. So yeah, you're kind of hanging out at the tavern. Probably around 7 or so, you would see him walk in. Again, you'd see him get a bunch of looks and people kind of keeping away from him. He looks around for a bit, eyes you, because you're very standoutish in a group of humans. He would give you a big old wave and smile and walk over. Sitting down across from you, he says, "Hail again, heroes of..." Did I ever get your name? I'm sorry, how rude of me. Well, obviously, my name is Neil. What's your name? I feel odd calling you a hero of Chaur.
Scotty.
Well met, Scurry. Have you given my proposal any thought?
Well, my party members don't seem too interested at all. That said, I'm not my party members at the moment, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Says not interested. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there a reason they're not interested? I thought everyone liked gold.
They like gold, but they tend to shy away from the less clean coin, let's just say.
Yes, the reputation, I can understand that. Well, let me just say that our division is not like other Blood Hand divisions. We are, we're on the up and up. We're not looking to shake down villagers or break anyone's legs. We have some real ideas for profit involving the recent sieges, and we have some information that other people might not have.
I'm listening.
He says, well, I assume you've met some of the hobgoblins as you had to fight through them. We know the organization they work for. And we know a little bit about why they're here.
And why exactly have you not sold that information for coin yet?
We have our reasons. But
Fair.
we would be willing to part with some of this information if your group wanted to work with us, under the understanding that you as well would not sell it. But it could be valuable to you in other ways.
Very well. Whatever you say, information-wise, won't leave this table between you and I.
Says, before that, we would want to get a guarantee that you and your group would be working with us.
I would have to know what the work is first.
He says, well, a first step would be to come meet my employer, who wishes to talk to you herself. And actually, as this is happening, some of the other members of the party who are in the inn may have noticed that Scurry is talking to Neil over at the table. If you want to do anything.
Well, I told Carter I was going to teach him how to fight, so I'm currently trying to put his ass in the dirt.
Alright, so you're maybe out back sparring with him a bit. So maybe only Zerk sees it right now. And maybe Sniz, I don't know if Sniz came to the tavern.
Yeah. Well, it depends. If the meeting goes on for a while, I'll eventually come down, I think.
Okay.
I won't interrupt. I will stay and keep an eye on him.
Alright, so he says, I can take you all to see her. She isn't too far from here. But she wanted to kind of give you the pitch a little bit herself. I mean, maybe she'll tell you some of the details.
Very well.
He says, go ahead, sorry.
As long as it's nothing too directly shady, my party should probably agree. If it is, though, I might suggest that this meeting, or at least that part of the conversation, is carried out in a more private manner between 4 eyes instead of 8. And then I might be able to convince my party on my own.
Says, alright, well, I'll be around the bar. I have some business I have to take part in, but come get me once you get an answer from your group. And if you want to go tonight, I will take you to see her right away.
Will do.
So he smiles and goes to give you a handshake. You notice he flexes his pecs a bit as he does so.
I'll shake his hand.
And he gives you a firm handshake and a nod, and he walks over to talk to some gentlemen who are kind of eyeing you off to the side. What do you want to do? You going to try to convince your party to go speak with this contact, or just kind of pass the evening?
Where is Zerx in this room compared to the people that he's gone to talk to?
So Zerx is... Or go ahead, I'll let you.
I would be on the opposite side. I'm not gonna be in earshot or anything, but the point where he could come approach me and not be in earshot.
Yeah, so you might see Zerx kind of over near the bar. Maybe he was keeping an eye on you. And you would probably see Zach out in the backyard tossing around poor Carter.
I'm trying to see if I can pretend to be talking to Zerx while listening in the conversation that Neil is having.
Okay. Sure. So you're kind of walking past. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, good roll. So it sounds like he is getting information from some scouts around town. They're telling him about some jobs that are lined up. It sounds like they also might be talking about having some, I guess the word might be like courtesans, like people who they're basically like hiring out to some of the more well-off members of the town. Nothing too dangerous or just kind of criminal stuff. But he doesn't seem to take much note of you walking past. So you walk over to Zerx.
I'll walk over to him. I'll just be like, I know you guys don't like the Neil Naked Tarzan guy, whatever, very much. However, I do think that we should at least talk to his employer or whatever, to see what they've got offered it. Obviously, if we don't want it, we can always say no, but I like to keep my options open.
It's understandable. I don't have any problem with the person just approaching you And being half naked is quite odd, correct?
That's fair.
What's wrong with that guy? So Sniz, you said you were going to show up later?
Yeah, I was gonna show up about sort of evening time, or well, actually, so what time? It's like evening, right? Right now.
Yeah, so it's getting later. You probably would have caught the end of that conversation as you walked in. Maybe you saw Scurry get up from speaking with Neil and go talk to Zerks. So you're probably in the bar now.
All right. Well, I'll come up to them and I do put my say in all. I get bad vibes from that guy. I don't really know. I just have a feeling that anything we do with him will follow us for the rest of our lives.
That's a little extreme, don't you think? Anyway, it's not like we're already decided we're working with him. We're just hearing him out.
I don't know. I suppose permanence scares me. Anything that can be permanent, like death, or like it's something I don't dabble with.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure I'd be permanent or anything, but I'll leave you with Zurich here. I'll go talk to Zach real quick. See you later, little one.
Alright,
Nothing to worry about.
Alright, so you head out back. Zach is, sparring with poor Carter, who is not doing very well. But he seems to at least be learning. So you approach Zach. What are you going to do, Zach?
I'll stop what I'm doing and just see what he has to say.
Alright, so I talked to the naked man. He seems to have quite some interesting information that might, help us out on our quest tomorrow. Obviously, it don't come for free, and he wants us to hear out whatever his boss has to say, because they've got some kind of job lined up. He said it wasn't too shady or anything, and but I think we should at least hear him out. Obviously, we can say no if we want to, but I like to keep my options open. So if you're down, we can go meet his boss tonight, see what she has to say, and either walk out, stomp on our feet, or see if we can work together.
How much would I know about these people?
You let's see. I guess, so would you have had a lot of contact with criminal organizations, or are you more someone who kind of works alone as a rogue?
Generally, I preferred to work alone, but if I was asked to do stuff, sometimes I would.
Alright, so you may have worked with the Bloodhand in the past, because they often do hire out mercenaries to help with jobs. Same as I said before, you would know that they are pretty ruthless, but they do appreciate talent and skill, so they do pay well if they find you to be competent. Although if you're not competent, you can end up dead in a back alley somewhere. Especially if you take their money and don't perform.
Well. They're generally the sort that, I try not to get mixed up with too much. I mean, it's happened before, but...
You would, and actually, as a thief, you might know that they have kind of independent cells that work in different towns. They don't always work together and don't always know what the other cell is doing. Like, they almost have, like, kind of separate groups all over that are sort of under this one Bloodhand banner, taking advantage of the reputation, but not working as the huge organization that some view them as. So kind of like scattered. Which I assume you tell him.
I can always listen to what they have to say, but if they're asking a little bit too much, not really interested in getting involved.
We walk out. It's that simple.
Yeah, we walk out and then find daggers in our backs, yeah?
And I think we'll be alright. Plus, especially with everyone on guard and armed, how do you think the people and the guards of this town will react if the heroes of Chaur all of a sudden stabbed in the back in the city? There'd be ransacking houses. I think we'll be fine. They don't want that kind of publicity, especially at this time.
We're important. Alright, so what do you all want to do?
So I suppose Zach and Scurry come back in. Are we all inside the tavern now?
Yeah, I would assume so. Afterwards, maybe talking a bit at a table.
Okay. Well, could I pull out my pan flute and just play a soft, relaxed melody?
Sure. And actually, there are still people kind of walking over, trying to talk to the group. So you start playing kind of a relaxing tune. Go ahead, give me a performance check. Yeah, so this nice little melody is kind of going everywhere in the bar, and a couple of people are clapping for you, maybe giving you a couple of copper pieces as you play. One guy says, "Are you one of the heroes of Chaur, little one?" Because they see you all sitting at the table together.
I don't really respond. I just keep playing. I'm
Okay.
kind of. I don't want to be like too in the way. I'm sort of just in my own space right now, just playing for myself.
Fair enough. All right, so you're playing your flute, and the rest of you are. Did you come inside, Zach, or are you still outside training Carl?
I'll come inside. I think he's been abused enough.
All right, give him a break. So he's definitely going to go up to his room and sleep, as this day has been hell for him. So yeah, you're all sitting at the table now. Your little friend is playing a nice tune, which is kind of soothing the bar, and mostly everyone's listening. Some people are still talking, though. Yeah, what does the group want to do?
So, are we all in agreement that we will at least hear these people out, and if we do not like what we hear, we part ways?
I am. Zach?
Yeah.
I will gesture over to Neil.
All right, so Neil, who's kind of keeping an eye on you all, as you gesture over to him, he walks over with that smile on his face. He says,
Are we going to be taking the bite-sized debate with us?
I don't see any reason to. I don't really quite trust him yet.
Are you talking about the one playing the lute?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
bite-sized
purposely
debate.
distance myself. I know I'm not really part of their thing right now. I'm still sort of an outsider. I just kind of distance myself.
Okay.
Read the situation.
So yeah, Neil would say, are you all ready to go?
Think we are.
All right, follow me then. And he would get up and kind of walk out the front door. As you're following him, Vernie would say, Heroes of Chaur, I got a message for you.
Aye, what you have?
And he hands you a scroll with a family seal in the wax, which you would recognize as the Blackwater family, which is the guy from the big house in the north part of town.
I'll try to put it away without him noticing what the crest on it.
Yeah, Neil isn't paying much attention.
Okay.
He's just continuing to lead you. So you follow him through town. It's pretty late, so everything's kind of closing up. People are going home for the evening. He would lead you back to the other side of town, up the street here, to a kind of abandoned part of the town. Some of these houses look like they may have been left just empty. But he walks up to one door, which seems to have been a little bit reinforced, knocks on it, and a slit slides open as two eyes look out. And he says, I brought him. And the guy inside nods and opens the door, leading you all inside. Inside this house, you see 15 or so individuals kind of sitting at various tables. Looks like they're playing cards, smoking, just generally kind of hanging out. They do have weapons, and they do eye the party as you walk past. A couple of them whispering in strange words that don't make much sense to you. He would lead you to a back room and knock and say, Cithril, they're here. And a feminine voice, or a woman's voice, says, "We'll show them in." And he opens the door and motions for you to enter. I assume everyone's going inside.
Um,
No.
DM,
Yep, let's go die.
DM. So, as a thief and a pickpocket, I kind of know a bit about what's been going on. No, I don't really know much about the Bloodhand, but I sort of know where they're situated. Can I, after they leave, give them a couple minutes and then sort of follow and go to the same part of town, just area, just in case like something
Sure.
weird goes down? I'm just kind of
Yeah,
curious.
you could have been keeping an eye, and I mean, it would be pretty easy for you to not be noticed if you stay far back. So yeah, you would see the building they go into, kind of maybe watching from across the street. Give me a stealth check though, because there is a
Okay.
chance you might be noticed by someone in the building. All right. All right. So you're kind of camped out across the street here, keeping an eye out. Back inside, are you all entering the room?
No.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk in. There is a woman there, leaning up against a desk as you enter. She kind of gives all of you a smile. Does anyone have nature? Because something might seem off about her.
Nope.
No nature training. All right. So she has red hair, as well as what appear to be greenish eyes, which is a little weird. She kind of has traits of both a wood elf and a high elf a little bit. She bows as you come in. You would see several daggers sheathed at her side, as well as a rapier and a short bow on her back. And a green cape as well, or green cloak. She says, "My name is Cithril. It's good to meet all of you." She kind of looks, waiting for you to introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Scotty, and this is Zerx and Zach.
Well met. I've heard good things about the heroes of Chaur, and I just wanted to see if they were true. Are you currently all looking for work?
Always open to a decent job.
She says, "Excellent, because we definitely have decent jobs available if you are someone who can get the job done." She says, "I haven't heard of the group Heroes of Chaur. Are you from some sort of mercenary group in the Empire that I would know of?"
No, we just sort of came together by chance, supporting the caravan coming here.
I generally work alone.
And she nods. She says, "Well, it's quite impressive that you were able to fight your way through the hobgoblin siege outside. You're the first caravan to be able to do so in quite some time. What do you know of the attacks, out of curiosity?"
Mainly hobgoblins, making sure that supplies aren't coming into the city, and stealing most of the supplies, hauling them off somewhere, probably where they're hiding.
They're well armed and well equipped, far more than your typical ragtag of bandits.
Carrying the same insignia. Your naked guy, I think Neil,
She
told us
smiles.
something about a person they work for or a family or something.
Yes, they are indeed a mercenary group. She trails off a bit and says, "But so I'll just be upfront. I need them to be taken care of, and I need an item retrieved from them. I'd be willing to pay very well for this to happen." She says, "Although the problem is there are quite a large number of these hobgoblins. As you said, this is no ragtag group of mercenary or of bandits. They are much more well organized and led by a warlord from the northern deserts. I don't want to give too much information just yet, First, I want to know, are the heroes of Chaur going to be working with me on what I need done?
Well, we're taking out the hobgoblins anyway, or at least planning on doing so. I don't see a reason why we couldn't work together, and us picking up the item while we're at it doesn't seem that much of an extra hassle if it brings extra coin.
She says, well, there is a dagger I need retrieved. I'm not going to say too much about the dagger, but I can give you a description if you agree to the job. If you are able to get this dagger for me, I could pay your group 500 gold pieces. Is this something you'd be interested in?
Seems like a lot of money for a fancy piece of steel.
She nods. It is.
I'm assuming this dagger's in the possession of the warlord.
You are correct. And unfortunately, the warlord is, at our last count, has at least 200 strong hobgoblins. So obviously, just rushing him with just yourselves would be suicide. So this is going to be a long and involved job.
We understand. We've got some plans of our own to start dealing with this issue as well and dwindle their numbers.
Oh. Well, if you already have a plan to start dwindling their numbers, that could work with what we're trying to do. I think the local city is offering money for hobgoblin heads, so that could be profitable for you.
That's exactly what we were thinking as well.
Out of game, what would you consider battle tactics? Would that be wisdom or intellect?
I mean, it depends. You could probably use either in certain situations.
Because person-wise, I know a great idea, but I don't know if my character would know it. But then again, he is from a warring nation, so it does seem like something he would know. But he's just not smart.
I mean, you could just suggest things. It's not you don't have to worry too much about your int or wisdom score. Being creative is just being creative. But would you be willing to work with us, or is our group a little too taboo for you?
So long as we communicate and be honest and upfront and forward, I think we can work out for now, so long as our goals align.
Excellent. Well, I have information on where the hobgoblins are stationed, their main base, but there are quite a few still in the area attacking farms and just being a nuisance. So I'm not sure what your immediate plans are, but if you wish, I can show you to the area where their main encampment is. It's not close to town, it's a bit of a trip.
Yeah. So you see, our plan was to dwindle their numbers outside first, and then through that, figure out where their main encampment is, which you've helped us with already. So now I'm thinking, especially since their numbers are that large, take care of some of the farms, start making hobgoblins disappear.
So she hasn't given you that location yet.
I know, but you have it.
Gotcha, okay.
So we make an unusual number of hobgoblins disappear from surrounding areas, especially the opposite of where, whichever direction this camp might be, which means they'll have to reinforce it, which means that they leave their main camp vulnerable.
She nods. This is a good start, though I don't think they're going to send more people south if you kill off their forces here. They may actually just turtle up within their main base. Give me an insight check, anyone who wants. You might note something. Alright, so Zerk, as she's talking, you might get the feeling that it's strange she knows, or claims to know how they might operate or think. Unless she has some sort of... she might know more than she's letting on about them.
Any particular reason why you would believe them to just turtle up and retreat back to their stronghold instead of sending reinforcements?
She considers you a moment. She says, well, I just know if I was in the position of the warlord and I was losing troops in an area, I wouldn't necessarily just keep sending troops. I would try to find out more about why they were dying. And most likely, if they know there are mercenary groups working against their forces, they'll either send a huge force or they'll back off for the time being. It really depends on what their current strategy is, which I couldn't tell you much about.
How are they getting their supplies? Are their only way they're getting supplies is through ransacking the caravans?
Says I would assume that is part of how they're doing it, but I don't know exactly. My scouts have found their base, but we don't know where their supplies are coming from. It almost seems like someone hired them to be here.
Should we eventually decide to take care of their main base of operations, would you be supporting us with men, numbers at all?
She says,
Or is this something that we'd be undertaking ourselves and whatever connections we find outside your bloodhand?
my people aren't really soldiers, so it would be more you yourself undertaking. I don't have people I could send out into the field to fight them head to head, though I might be able to help somewhat in infiltrating their base if we know, or if you could bring me more information as to what the inside of their base looks like, or like a secret way in or something.
How about we get you a live hobgoblin from our ventures outside the gates for you to interrogate?
Says it couldn't hurt, though I'd guess that many of the hobgoblins here. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it couldn't hurt. I could see what we could get from him.
All right. Well, in that case, let's just say for now that we'll keep an eye out for your dagger. We'll start dwindling their numbers, see if we can find out some more information about that camp, and then get back to you if we feel like we got a good plan of action for taking out their base.
She nods. She says, I would just suggest you not tell anyone you're working with me. My organization doesn't have the best reputation, and especially in this town, we're not looked kindly upon. You seem to be doing quite well in that department, as everyone here seems to love you. So, yeah, I would keep that to yourself that you're working with us.
Will do.
Alright. Well, if you're ready, I can... Well, whenever you're ready, I can send a scout with you to show you where their base is. Just let me know.
Zach or Zerx, you guys got anything to say or questions to ask of the young lady?
She laughs. She says, young.
I'll wait and try and say I've got some things to ask in private, I suppose, or discuss.
Oh, private, she says. You wish to get me alone, Zerx. She smiles at you.
And I will say, yes, I do in Elvish.
She nods. She says, I'm willing to speak to Zerx alone.
Have fun.
Good luck. I'll pat him on the back and walk out.
So she just looks at you as the others leave, and she says, what did you wish to ask me?
Do you have means to intercepting possible trade routes or possibly poisoning their supply lines?
What?
If I knew more about where their supplies were coming from, that would be an option. But right now, we don't know much about who's supplying them.
But if we were to get you in, if we could find a way for you to get inside, could you do that?
He says, she says, we do have poisons. It would be possible if we could find out where the food's coming from and sneak some of our people in. Just take some information on your end. So I will say a tentative yes.
Okay, that is all I wish to discuss. And there's not many elves around here, so I was curious, that's all.
He says, fair enough.
But you also seem to have a little bit more information than you're letting on that I wish to pry about.
Give me a persuasion check. She says, what do you think I know that I'm not telling you?
I think you have a bit of more of a connection with this lower lord than than you're letting on.
Connection with what? Sorry.
With the lower lord.
Oh, Warlord. I kept hearing Lore Lord. I was like, what's a Lore Lord?
I had a cough drop in my bad.
Gotcha. She looks at you curiously. She says, well, let's just assume I don't for now.
All right, if you suppose, you just make sure those people are ready when we get this information.
She nods and says, I'll have people ready. Just figure, if you can figure it out, let me know, and we'll set it up.
All right, and I'll take my leave.
All right, so the group heads out of the house. What do you all want to do?
So, how long did that talk take?
I mean, he was probably in there like 5 minutes.
Zach will make a comment. Well, that was short. You must not be much fun.
Things of that matter don't mean much to me if that's what you're implying. We're more talking strategy, and the fact that she's hiding information, of course.
What do I see as they're leaving the house? Are they alone?
So yeah, at this point, they're probably standing in the street. It's pretty late. There's not many people around. You would see that the house itself has a couple of eyes looking out the window at them. And just looks like they're talking.
I see. So I want to rejoin them, but after they've walked away from the house. So I guess I'd just follow them, sort of separate until they're away enough that eyes can't see.
Okay.
But I want to talk to the group.
So I assume the group is heading back to the inn right now.
Yeah.
On the way there, I'd like to know what that scroll said that you received from the barkeep.
Yes. Let's get back to the inn, and because I am not capable of reading in the dark unless one of you can.
I can.
I'll
Got
handle
dark
it.
vision.
Well, with dark vision, you can't usually read very well in the dark. It's easier with light, for sure. Because I think dark vision is kind of like almost shadowy vision, so it's harder to read. But there's moonlight, so you could probably make it work. Do you want to unroll the scroll and read it while you're walking?
Yeah, sure. I just want to make sure that if we gotta go to that house on the top, we don't go back to the inn first.
All right, so the letter basically addresses you. It says, Heroes of Chaur, I've heard of your great deeds and wish to speak with you about a possible business dealing. I have lots of resources, and I'm hoping with your talents we can work together to do great things. Signed, Galen Blackwater of the Blackwater Estate.
With no indication of a meeting where or
No,
when.
just that's all it says. It doesn't state like at 5 o'clock tomorrow or something. It looks like just a general invitation to come see him.
I suppose we could talk to him on our way out if we head out that gate.
Alright, so as you're walking through the streets, Sniz would suddenly walk up.
No.
Oh, I can't help but notice you guys are dealing with the Blood Hand. I must say, first and foremost, they are not people you want to be mixed up with. And also, if they've asked you to go after Orchard, I would strongly recommend against it.
Who?
Orchard, don't you know? He's the hobgoblin warlord of around these sieges. No one knows why, but he is besieging the town.
And is this common information, or is this something he just...
No, it's
None
sort of
you
on
knew
the
that.
underground.
Yeah.
And how do you know about this?
Well, it's, sort of common information on the underground. All the sort of pickpockets and scallywags of the alleyways know.
And
I haven't been told shit.
I'd like
The
to
other
roll
thieves.
inside. I am
Yeah,
very
the
suspicious
other
of this
thieves
fucking
cross
guy
their
right
arms
now.
and like,
I
wait
want
a
to
minute.
inside his brow. I want to roll insight.
Sure. You can roll insight, yeah. So, yeah, you're not sure that information would be going around the anywhere in this town. You don't think any of the people knew.
I don't feel he is being quite honest with us, do you?
I don't either, but I don't know. He just seems like a little of a threat.
Well,
So
people
if you're
get
ever
some more
trying to
honesty when
blackmail
they have
us,
the holes.
I mean, okay, he could have just, blackmailed us off the get-go. He doesn't seem like he's wanting to do that, so it's fine with me for now. But you best watch your step, little one.
Yeah, you might. I guess Sniz. Where in your backstory did you have that information? Or do you want to talk about it in private?
So okay. So basically, like I'm a bard, right? And I'm a traveling bard, and I used to travel with
Yeah.
my master, but he died. And so I've sort of been like, I'm like, not quite like a full bard. I'm only like partially trained. But so I'm sort of like, I'm like a thief is like how I like sort of make a living, because I can't like full time be a bard and make money off of it. So, and I'm also a traveler, so I travel a lot. I'm only stuck in the city because the mysterious thing happened. But I
Alright.
just happen to know that Orchard, it was one of the songs, I guess, that are. I happen to know that Orchard is the leader of the Hobgoblin group, because I know the.
So maybe you had heard it from somewhere, but
Yeah,
you can't put your
because
finger on it because it's definitely not common information in the town.
I see. Okay.
Like no one. I
Well,
mean, if they had known that, like the government probably would have known that by now.
I see. Well, in that case, I just know that the symbol is his symbol, the ocean symbol. So if I ever see this shield, I'll recognize it as Orchard's.
All right. Well, that's
So
fine. We could say that maybe you had heard it from somewhere. Maybe. Who would you have heard that from?
It could just be the random drunkard in town that nobody ever believes.
Yeah, maybe some guy was on a rant. We'll say you heard it from somewhere, but it's definitely
I
not
thought
common.
I thought it was a bit more common because it's at the trouble at the Chaur tab, which I read through. So
Yeah, it is.
sorry about that.
It is. Well, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It is story information. It's definitely not commonly known, but we can say, yeah, you learned it from somewhere. Yeah. So it's, yeah. Maybe you heard it from. Who would you hear that from?
Just on travels that, that's the mercenary group led by that guy, and now they showed up here.
Yeah, we
I
can
guess.
figure it out later.
Or I can just say like, oh, if you're going after the big baddie, like don't do it, because I can
we
assume
can
that's what the
We can
blood
retcon
hand.
it.
Sure, yeah, we'll retcon that. But
Retcon it.
it's not a big deal. So yeah,
My boy.
we'll say that you say, yeah, like something like, if you're going after whoever this warlord is, maybe not to trust the crimson,
The blood hand.
or yeah, the
Or,
blood
yeah.
hand.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't do it. All right.
We'll take it under advisement.
So, I don't know about common decorum and time, so I'm gonna say, do we head to the Baron's house now? As I look up, I'm like, I can assume this is considered late or early. I'm not sure.
It's
It's
pretty
late for humans.
Yeah, it's pretty late. It's probably around 9 o'clock, but I mean, maybe he'd be still happy to talk to you later on. You don't know.
Well, we wanted to leave early tomorrow, so I'd suggest that we go back to the inn for now, and then we just get up early and visit him in the morning.
Fair enough.
All right, so the group heads back to the inn, and
I'm gonna look at Sniz and ask him if he's just been following us around.
Uh-oh.
I just given. I say yes. I have actually. Just I'm curious about what's going on. Sorry, I apologize.
Well, skulking around makes me uncomfortable.
Makes sense for him to want to know who he's working with.
She prefers to be the one that skulks around. Nobody skulks around, only but her.
But if you'd like, I can not skulk around and just follow you and be with you instead. I guess that could be one way, or I could just stay away from you. That would also work.
Shock would.
We'll
say,
see how it. Sorry.
I'll say. I'll say you're back at the tavern at this point, and Shock says, "Well, do you have any sort of abilities that could help the group out? You're not really dressed for war, little one."
He's the bait.
Well, I am a bard, and I do have a couple tricks up my sleeve. I can do some minor healing. I can disguise myself.
He says, "Oh, you're a
Uh,
caster. Oh, magic
yeah.
always comes in handy. That could be useful. I know that. Well, I don't know much about bards, but I know there are strange warriors who sing and can summon magic. If you can do those things, he could be of help to us."
Not the best. I'm still learning, but I can do some things.
Yeah, if you hold your own and don't care what weighs down, then it should be fine.
So, do you want to tell Shock about your meeting with the Blood Hand?
No.
Okay,
I'm not going to if
you
nobody
keep-
else is.
You keep that under wraps. All right, so yeah, so he would be talking a bit. Melody seems like she's doing better. She's still all bruised up, but she's downstairs drinking with Shock and kind of out and about at least. He says, "I got some crates, so we should have our bait for tomorrow." How has the Heroes of Chaur's day been? Productive, I hope.
It has. Any luck on finding us a possible scout or a nature one?
Sadly, no. Not many in this town have those abilities. There's some town guards that have a little bit of woodland experience, but I have a feeling we'd get them killed. They don't seem the best at fighting.
Fair enough.
Did we manage to get any other men that might be following us on this adventure, or will it be just you and us?
He says, "I can bring some guards, but honestly, I feel as if they might get killed, as you saw what happened with the large hobgoblin horde. So I can bring them, but it could be dangerous." And
There's no point in risking us, and then plus it's gonna attract too much attention. You have one little cart and you have all these guards.
I mean, the guards would be hiding in the boxes.
they jump out.
Yeah, because that would do so good for morale.
He says, "Well, I can bring them for sure. They could be of help if there's overwhelming numbers, but I just worry we'd end up getting them killed. They definitely don't have the skills we have."
All right. Well, I'd say maybe ask one or two that you'd know that can somewhat handle themselves. That if they want to join us, that they can obviously keep the heirs for the gold for every hobgoblin that they kill. That it's up to them if they want to join or not. But otherwise, you're welcome to just come along with us without anyone else as well.
One thing interesting I've noted, it seems like there are a good amount of mercenaries in town, but they're working for Blackwater. I don't know what he has them doing, but those who I've found are all under his employ. It seems like he's gathering a bunch of them for some reason. So pretty much anyone who's skilled is under his employ right now. I think some of them are in the tavern, and he kind of motions over to a table where you see a couple of somewhat armored individuals speaking to each other.
Yeah, he's approached. We've been approached as well. We were planning to talk to him in the morning and see what he had to offer.
I'm kind of curious because they don't seem like they're attacking the hobgoblins, so I'm almost curious what he has them all doing.
I wonder if it has anything to do with that package of his.
It's possible. Well, I think I'm going to go get some sleep, gentlemen, ladies. Have a good evening. And he takes his leave.
Before they go upstairs, I'll use 3 points of my lay on hands to finish restoring Mel.
She is grateful as you heal many of her bruises, and she thanks you. She says, "Wow, thank you."
Yep, and I'm gonna go upstairs before I go to sleep and slowly creep over menacingly over Carter and just poke him in the head and heal him too, so he doesn't have fatigue from all the beating he has.
Yeah, he's not as much damage as he is just fatigued. So you think
That's
just
yeah, I'm
bed
just getting
rest. All right, fair enough. So you go and try to heal him up a bit, but then you go to bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Since it's a concern, I'll see if Sniz can prove he can fight.
You want to go
I see.
spar with him a bit?
Yeah.
Are you? Go ahead.
No, she's just like throwing little people around. That's all it is.
Do you want to go spar with him a bit, Sniz, or her a bit?
Well, I will go out. Wherever we are outside, I'll go. I'll try to stay away from hand on hand or like wrestling, but I'll take out one of my darts, one of my daggers, and I'll throw them at a like a fence pole or something like that.
So you try to demonstrate your ranged abilities.
Yeah.
All right, give me an attack roll. Hop, 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 as you start throwing darts and daggers.
So
Oh, good shot. All right, so yeah, he gets a pretty good grouping as like the local
oh,
maybe pole there gets a bunch of daggers and darts stuck in it. You don't have to make a bunch of rolls. I'll just take the 19.
all right, all right.
Are you or how exactly are you trying to test him?
Yeah, if she wants to like put me on the ground, I guess she could put me in a chokehold. I wouldn't be able to resist.
Yeah, well, he's probably busy throwing stuff. She's just gonna jump him.
What the? All right. So are you trying to grab him, or what exactly are you doing? Like grapple, or?
She just wants to put him in the dirt.
All right. Give me
grapple.
an athletics check.
Such a bully.
And,
Do a one.
you can
That
oppose Sniz with athletics or acrobatics as she goes to grab at you.
Okay.
I'm so bad at this. Well, my first one's not bad. I need to get a new mouse.
Oh,
It
no.
needs to stop doing that double clicking.
With with the 19, he easily just hops to the side, avoiding your grab at him. Yee! He's very dexy, dodging out of your chokehold. What do you want to do?
I'll just
It's like an
pull
awkward
out my
silence for a moment.
pull out my pan flute.
It
Maybe we can
starts,
start playing some music.
it starts playing a song. All right, give me a performance. Oh yeah, he plays a very soothing song on his little pan flute as he dodges your grab attempt. Do you want to do anything else? Like try to grab him again or say anything?
I will just speak and say that I don't have any melee weapons, and I do have some darts and some daggers. But if it comes to like real like rough and tough taking down a hobgoblin, I wouldn't be the best at that. But I'm much better on the sides, sneaking around and doing other things undetected.
Maybe if you keep dodging around, you won't be killed.
He does seem to be dodgy. 'Cause like I said, he was pretty graceful as he slipped out of your grasp. All right. So anything else you two are doing out here, or are you gonna head back inside?
No, he won't
No.
play around. He's no fun.
Well, I'm curious. So, as like she was sort of like coming at me, uh, Zach was coming at me. Did I like see more? Because I know she's sort of like hooded or whatever. At least that's what I saw initially. Did I see anything more?
What's your perception?
I'll just roll a perception check. Oh, my passive perception? It's
Yeah.
+4. So is that just
14.
wisdom plus the bonus?
Yeah, so if it's +4, then it'd be 14 because you have to use
14,
an
okay.
action. So when you're dodging her, you probably wouldn't have time to like specifically look.
I see.
But with a 14, you may have noticed that under her hood, especially because she kind of came down on you, that it does look like her skin is a bit of a different off color, and almost like there's some points coming out of her hood. So she
I
definitely
see.
looks odd up close.
And would I know? I'm not very like familiar with people in D&D, but would I be aware of like as a bard and travel a lot? Would I have seen like
Her
tieflings
race.
before? Her race, yeah.
So give
Is she a
me,
tiefling?
as a bard, you do have partial training in Arcana, so give me an Arcana check.
My kind of is.
Okay.
Oh,
So you do know of tieflings. You probably never seen one before, or probably have never seen one before. But now that you saw her up close, it's very possible she is one.
I see.
At least from the stories you've heard of the way they look.
Got it. Got it. Oh, that's good. I guess I'll just like be cheery and friendful, and then I'll just go to bed.
All right. So he plays a cheery tune, and then he's gonna head back in unless Zach or anyone else wants to do anything out here.
I should just call him no fun.
You're no fun. All right. So he heads inside. Zach, you're heading back inside.
Might as well.
All right. So everyone's going to bed for the evening. And
Okay.
well, actually, sorry. Does anyone else want to do anything?
I mean, I'm wondering, like, how late is it? Like, can I still go talk to the mercenaries that are inside the pub while they are outside sparring and stuff, and still be up in time for like our morning shenanigans with visiting and going on a goblin killing spree?
So it is probably about 10 o'clock at this point. So I mean, you probably want to get to bed if you want to be up like by 7 or 8. You probably want to get to bed around midnight or so.
All right, so I'll go talk to the mercenaries and sit down at their table, pull up a chair, and
And these are the Blackwater mercenaries.
yeah.
All right, so there are 3 of them. 2 of them in heavy armor, and one of them is kind of cloaked with a book that she is reading very fervently. She doesn't even notice you as you sit down, but the other 2 do, looking over at you. And one gives you a nod. He says, "Friend, can we help you?"
Yeah. You see, I'm wondering what Mr. Blackwater is trying to accomplish with all of these mercenaries. You see, I've been invited together with some of my friends to come visit him in the morning, and I like to be prepared before meeting people.
They consider you a moment. Give me a persuasion check. Oh. So yeah, he kind of considers you and says, I think he's organizing some sort of expedition. You should really just ask him if he's invited you to see him. We don't know much. We just get right now. It's been kind of quiet. It's actually, if you can get the gig, it's a pretty good job. I mean, we're basically being paid to stand around while he gets things in order. So my guess is it's some kind of expedition. And suddenly the woman looks up and she says, "Wait, who's this?" And she looks up as if she's noticing you for the first time. One of the guys says, "This guy is possibly." You told him that he was possibly going to hire you, right? You mentioned that.
Yeah, I definitely got a letter from the
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, the guy says, "This guy might be getting hired by Blackwater." She says, "Oh, yes, he is forming a group that intends to go look into some where was it? It was Issyk, I believe, the northern ruin of Issyk." And the guy says, "Yeah, Issyk, but I don't know when he's leaving. He's still getting everyone together."
Interesting. Well, thank you for your time. I've got business in the morning, so I'll leave you here. Thank you for the information and good luck.
He says, "Yeah, you too. Hopefully, we'll get to work together." And
We'll see.
they kind of go back to talking, and she goes back to her book. What's your passive perception?
12.
So you might notice, because she wasn't doing a very good job at hiding it, that the cloaked woman is a high elf.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is the first, well, I guess you saw Cithril, and she was a wood elf, but this is the only other non-human you've probably seen other than your party members. The other 2 men look like they're humans.
Well,
Got
the
it.
bartender is a halfling.
Who?
Bartender's a halfling.
Oh, right, Vernie, yeah. So Vernie would be the other one. But you have seen other halflings around town, just very rarely. It's mostly humans and a couple of halflings here and there. All right, so you'd all go to bed unless someone else wants to do anything. All right, and actually, you would all level up during the night. So you would be level 2, and this might be a good place to stop, as we are at 2 o'clock. But everyone give me a whisper with an MVP vote as to who you think was the MVP of the session.
How do I whisper again on this? I forget.
Discord.
Well, it's here. I'll send the command.
/W space DM
like that, and just with the
or
name.
GM. Yeah.
You can't vote for yourself. It is against the rules. All right, I got 1 vote.
Okay, that does work.
Yeah, I got 2 votes.
It's
Oh, so 3 votes. I might know who's winning. I think I just need. Who do I need? I think I just need Zach.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
Oh, no worries. And if you want, you could just send it over Discord for now.
Yeah, I'll do that. Where are you? There you are.
Oh, we have a tie. So Scurry and Sniz, I need D20 rolls.
Oh, okay. Is there a way I can roll just in the roll 20?
Yeah,
Like
so on the left of the screen, there's like a dice button. You just click that and click the D20.
left the screen.
got decent odds of beating that.
On the here we go.
Yeah, there's like a. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, Nalo is the MVP.
Oh.
Congrats. So you get an inspiration point. You can have up to 10 of them, and basically it's just like having inspiration. You can spend a point to gain advantage on a dice roll.
I see. Okay.
All right. Well, I hope everyone had fun. And yeah, I'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
And try to level up to 2, and we'll continue the story from there.